going on?
We're finding out people's real names.
Yeah.
That's Frank. That's Frank. That's Hank.
Hank and Frank.
No, Spencer's real name. I didn't know his real name.
Daniel.
Daniel. Taylor. Yeah. No, we was trying to figure out Amber's real name. Try it.
What's going on, Lee? I don't know. Same old.
He'll probably bring it up. You know, I told him we got to have a quick meeting for Patrick. Brian doesn't cooperate.
Break the ice a little bit.
Break the ice. Y'all still playing down there? Cooper's?
That was our
20th?
while we're our meeting, yeah.
I think the firemen.
It's the same weekend. Told me to sign you up down there.
Me and Tony, I think it was me and Tony. Tony texted me and said he
Well,
plays.
up here?
No, over here. Cooper's office.
Well, you and your brother
No, Brady could play.
on the 20th?
Yeah. So I got me and Tony and Ed Andrews.
Okay, so y'all are gonna play down there.
I'll be check with Ed Andrews and make 100%.
Well, what I was gonna do is tomorrow morning ask you the parents.
That's the one.
Okay,
That's
thanks.
the one.
Parents.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me get with Ed. I'm not 100% on Ed. That was me a little bit.
Ed Andrews?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But Tony said he could play, so.
send me a text.
Yeah, I'll send you.
Y'all
I'll find
are
more
gonna
out.
play.
Yeah.
You and Tony are gonna get somebody. Okay. All right, well, I'll ask them.
Okay.
I'll tell them this, that you and somebody else are not.
To be named, just put to be named.
TBA.
Yeah, we know Sam, Travis called me Sam back. Sam back.
He can come down. Yeah.
You wanna play?
I'm playing up here.
Yeah, I forgot I committed to that, so. But, yeah, somebody asked me to play in that one up here, I was like, I think I'm playing somewhere else.
Meet me, Brady and Damien are gonna play.
Yeah, I know, I told you I was, yeah, I forgot.
Damien and Brady.
Yeah, I'll get back.
How are you, Tom?
Real good, bud.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. We're going to call the meeting to order. I'll do a roll call, please, Bill.
Councilmember Yancey? Here. Councilmember Miller?
Here.
Councilmember Hilliker?
Here.
Councilmember Turner? Here. Councilmember Raines?
Here.
Councilmember Vickers?
Here.
Councilmember Dawson?
Here.
Councilmember Draper?
Here.
Mayor? Here. And I'm here.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's put a moment of prayer in remembrance of 9/11. Heavenly Father, as we think of those who lost their lives at 9/11, we ask you, send your Holy Spirit to comfort those and their families. We remember those who also saw the towers fall and answered the call and enlisted. Many of those lost their lives, many were injured. We just pray, Father, that you would also send your Holy Spirit to comfort those families who lost loved ones in the conflict that resulted from 9/11. We would ask also that you would comfort hurt families as we remember them in their time of loss. Please send your Holy Spirit to draw those who speak so vilely about others to repentance, those who compare people to infamous villains like Hitler, and those who compare others to serial killers. Please, Lord, turn them from their reprobate minds to repentance. Now, as we return to the matters at hand in front of us, Lord, please grant us clear minds and pure hearts, and guide our words and our actions, that we would act in the betterment of our city. May we join, may we, through our actions, point others to you. Ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
We need to review and approve the minutes from August. Please, Bill.
Horseshoe Bend Finance Meeting Minutes, August 14th, 2025. Committee Vice Chair Donnie Dawson called the Finance meeting to order at 6:05 p.m. Present were Councilmember Yancey, Councilmember Miller, Councilmember Raines, Councilmember Vickers, and Councilmember Dawson. Also present, Mayor Duane Delair and Recorder Treasurer Bill Vanderpass. Absent, City Attorney Brad Sipe, Councilmember Draper, Councilmember Booth, and Councilmember Hilliker. All stood for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation led by Councilmember Miller. The minutes from the July 10th Finance meeting were read by Recorder Treasurer Vanderpass. Councilmember Miller moved to approve the minutes, second by Councilmember Raines. Minutes were approved by a voice vote. Recorder Treasurer made a few comments on the Treasurer's report. No additional issues were noted by Council. The Sheriff's fee was double in July. Old business, slope mower. Councilmember Miller explained that good deals on mowers did not last long as time is of the essence. He also explained why the Toro 3500D mower was needed versus the Ventrac. Cart shed. There was a discussion on options regarding the insurance claim. The shed can be replaced or the insurance money can be retained for parks and recreation use. Lawsuit settlement offer. There was a discussion on merits and risks of settling lawsuit 33CV-24-25. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Vickers to consider the issue at the special meeting after the Finance meeting. The motion passed by voice vote. Unity Pavilion ADA compliance. There was discussion on the current status of this project. Carol Spencer stated that this needs to be taken care of as soon as possible because 3 people have fallen already. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Raines to consider the issue at the special meeting. Motion passed by voice vote. New business, signatories. Councilmember Miller explained the need to have an additional signatory on the general fund account and the Parks and Recreation account because the mayor has held up payment on select contractors. A discussion ensued. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Yancey to move the issue to the next council meeting for consideration. The motion passed by voice vote. Cameras. The recorder treasurer requested the use of the newfound cameras in the mayor's office. The mayor agreed to provide them after the meetings. Recordings. Councilmember Miller presented an ordinance to council on a recording policy. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Vickers to push the ordinance to the next council meeting for consideration. The motion passed by voice vote. New lawsuit. Councilmember Miller presented the need to have legal representation for lawsuit 33CV-25-117. Council needs to appeal the initial denial of representation by the municipal league and allocate money for the legal defense should the appeal be denied. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Yancey to consider the issues at the special meeting. The motion passed by voice vote. Veterans Park Improvement Grant. Councilmember Miller explained that there is a grant opportunity for playground equipment and ballpark development for Veterans Park. Council needs to approve a resolution to recommend pursuing this grant. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Vickers to move the issue to the next council meeting for consideration. The motion passed by voice vote. Leak detection equipment. The mayor presented some possible devices to use for water leak detection. A motion was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Yancey to send the issue to the next council meeting. The motion passed by voice vote. Public comments. There was more discussion on ADA handrails for pavilion. The idea of closing the pavilion until this project was complete was brought up. The recorder treasurer mentioned that there needs to be a process defined for evaluating fee waiver requests. He also mentioned that the street department has spent its budget for aggregate used in street repair. Chris Bigness would like more budget. Councilmember Dawson mentioned that some could possibly be taken from the water department budget. A motion to adjourn was made by Councilmember Miller and seconded by Councilmember Vickers. The motion passed by voice vote. Meeting was adjourned at 7:42 p.m.
Thank you. All right, finance report.
Have to approve the minutes first, so
Sorry.
Getting ahead of myself.
somebody needs to.
Any discussion about the minutes? Any changes? Do I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll move.
Got a motion by Dawson.
Who made the motion? Who was the second?
Haven't heard one.
I'll second.
Jeanette, okay.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say the same. Minutes are approved. Finance report.
So on the treasurer's report, it just was finished yesterday, so I've only had a little bit of time to look at it, but one of the big things that jumps out is revenue appears to be way down from normal. And I've looked at it quite a bit today, trying to figure that out, and it looks like all the normal revenue sources are either the same or a little higher than normal. So we think has to do with the credit card transactions. They go into the general fund first. They look like income, and I don't think they were entered in August yet. They weren't entered until September. That's what I think happened. I know that accounts for at least half of it, but we're still looking at it, and we'll have a better answer by council meeting, so. The deficit between the two is about 28,000 right now, and the PSNs, which is the credit card receipts, accounted for about half of that, so.
Any other questions concerning the finance report?
On Parks and Rec, is that the, says revenue 64,295?
Yes. That is correct.
Is that what we took in this month?
That would have been August,
So that's what we took in for August.
correct.
I don't see a balance here.
That would be on the first page, or the end of the, actually the second page, the top of the second page. 438,000. Yeah, look at the top there, the first item is Parks and Rec.
Perfect, thank you.
Do I have a motion to approve the finance report?
You don't actually need a minute, it forwards to the council meeting automatically, so
Okay.
don't need to do anything.
On to old business.
mower for the golf course.
Okay, the slope motor was ordered last week and is due in, I believe, today or probably tomorrow. I think it's shipped New Jersey on Tuesday, so.
Shipment was included in the price.
Fund grant?
Uh, It's just on here because we approved it last time and I did submit it in time, so it's been submitted.
New businesses, potential grants to apply for.
We need to talk about the waiver.
Yeah, the waiver is on here because we, in council, had pushed that to finance, but it's kind of a moot point now, because after talking to our city attorney, he said that we cannot offer waivers, extensions, or special payments to anybody unless we offer it to everybody, and so,
My comment on that is, when we pass the ordinance itself says that if someone wants to appeal, they can appeal directly to the council. So that still stands the ordinance as a path, but I agree that we cannot waive or forgive or not collect the money from any individual, just like the city attorney advised. But again, if they wish to appeal, it's in the ordinance. If they want to appeal directly to the council.
Okay, moving on to new business. Potential grants, is that you, Brian? Let's talk about the grants.
Yes, sir. Got a couple more grants we're looking at. One of them is a community development block grant. And what it is, it's I've never heard of a 90-10, but it's a 90-10 split. City only has to cover 10%, and the grant would cover 90%. And we're looking at aiming this at taking the community center, and its bathrooms are not ADA approved. That's the focus, is to make the bathrooms upstairs and downstairs ADA approved, so that we're in compliance and they can accommodate those who have handicaps. I mean, that's just what we should do as a city. They've been that way a long time, but we ought to change it if we can get this grant. That one has to be submitted by October 17th. Therefore, I'm bringing it up in finance, so at the end of the month, we can, as a council, consider passing a resolution supporting submitting that for that grant.
Is that required for this grant, or is it just?
Yes, sir.
Record, okay. Is it the same for the next one?
And that, I would say, I'd like to forward that one to council. And the second, we might as well put both of them together. The other one also is probably gonna need, it will need approval of the council also. It's a little more long-term. We have a little bit more time. It's the end of October. But we still, because it's the end of October, it'll be prior to our city council meeting in October. So we're probably gonna have to do that approval also at the end of this month. What that one is it's basically for helping us develop economic development, and it's been used for many different things, for sewer projects, drainage projects, paving for our city, and we're looking at working with Chris Bigness, Public Works, and trying to get this put together to apply for this grant, and it is a lot larger. Incorporating sewer development into it, it could be as much as $2 million grant. And again, it's a grant. It's not 50-50. It's a grant. And I would like to propose we forward both these to our meeting, city council meeting at the end of the month.
Is that a motion? You making a motion?
I'll make a motion. Any other questions about these?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same. I want to take a second and thank our volunteer fire department for their work that they came and did. And if anyone was saying anything but thank you, I think you're wrong. Those are people's sons and daughters. They don't know who they're going to help when they get the call. They just show up and go to work. And we really need to appreciate and thank them. And I know I do. Hopefully everyone else does. Anyone else want to add anything to the fire department? Talk about them. I just want to thank them publicly.
I also want to, I'd like to extend that thanks to our fellow fire departments that came to our aid.
Yes.
Ash Flat, Franklin, there was what, 5 other departments responded, I believe?
It was Franklin,
Thank
Ashflat
you.
brought the ladder truck.
Right.
Hardy and Franklin.
So 4 others?
Yeah,
I knew Ash Flat was here, saw their ladder truck. I didn't know
there was a total of 5 departments on scene.
5 aided us, or 5
4 aided us.
and us
then
and
it
ours.
was a
Okay,
total of 5.
thank you. I just wanted to include them too. I mean,
Yes,
they
definitely. Thank you.
assisted greatly. That ladder
That's
truck
right.
helped save our grocery store, is what I was told by our fire chief.
Yeah.
And also,
Thank
the Ashflat Fire Chief commended Horseshoe Bend Fire Department on the way they controlled the fire. And they said that if things hadn't went like they did, it would have been worse. But,
Thank you.
the Ashflat Fire Chief did commend Horseshoe Bend, and all the hydrants were working. We got water from everywhere. I mean,
Yeah,
so there's,
There'll always be
So that
the
was-
pot stirrers, but we'll just
I'm
move
s-
on. There'll
yeah.
always be the pot stirrers, but we'll move on
Yeah.
past it.
so. And somewhere, the fire chief of Horseshoe Bend was called worthless, and we are deeply offended by that. And if I find out, I will talk to them, because my husband was out just as long. He was there at the beginning and left early in the morning. It was just uncalled for.
Well, we all thank him very much. Well, I say all of us. All of us should be thanking him.
You can speak for all of us.
So, and there was people, I want to recognize a couple of people that ran to get food to feed all the firefighters. And I'm not sure if they want to be mentioned or not, but as of right now, I'm not going to call them out, but it was very helpful. We had a lot of hot and tired men, and it was just a rough night. It was a rough night. So, thank y'all for your support.
On a positive note, Dan, I want to thank you for all the school buses I see up there at the golf course. All of them left, a couple months ago, and there was 6 up there when I drove through and seen. I don't know if there's more now. It looks like more were pulling in, so that is a very pleasant surprise. Thank you, Dan. Any public comments?
I would like to bring up, we have a great deficit in our committees, and we need volunteers. Talking about volunteer in fire department, other citizens can volunteer too. And we have 15 vacancies in our committees, and also in the MSID. We're lacking any commissioners. The one commissioner we had moved, and the others' terms expired, and so I guess the end of the month, I guess we're going to fill these vacancies. I'd encourage any citizen who wants to serve the city and put some effort forward, come fill out an application. There's airport needs people, to zoning, building, planning, right on down the line, and MSID doesn't have one commissioner. So I'd encourage everybody to come get an application, put your time in, and actions are always better than words. Just put some feet to your wanting to serve the city.
Okay, I have a couple things to say. On the MSID, we have an administrator that's running that, and he's still in there. So we don't need to put any people actually on that. He's probably the most qualified road person
I believe he asked
in,
for
in the
volunteers.
city.
He asked
Well-
for help. He asked me to see if I could get him help, cause there's duties involved with being the MSID, returning reports in and doing the material, and he's one man. And he's doing a fantastic job at animal control, and here he asked for help. And that's one reason I brought that up, is cause he asked me to see if he couldn't get volunteers, cause he has no other commissioners to help him there. And as you said, your special administrator didn't take the place of the commissioners at any point. It was an addition to the commissioners. So we still have 3 vacancies that you hadn't filled and haven't appointed anyone.
He asked
Well-
for help in one of the meetings.
Yes, he did.
I understand that he did that. I'm just making a statement here. The other thing, in terms of improving the community center, I think we should think about an elevator. I know the bathrooms are out of compliance, but the bathrooms are grandfathered in at this point.
Nothing's
Possible.
ever grandfathered in ADA.
Can you please be quiet while
No,
I'm
gonna
speaking?
correct you. Nothing's ever grandfathered in ADA.
Well,
But I mean,
anyways, maybe we can put the two together, because to use that second floor, we really need a way of getting people up there.
I
And-
agree, Mayor. It's $100,000 grant, and I don't think it's gonna take nearly $100,000 to do the 2 bathrooms. I know it's gonna be costly, because those bathrooms are narrow, and it's gonna take a great deal of modification. Should there be enough left? No, I think an elevator is gonna be more than $100,000 to put an elevator in. So that grant is only $100,000. I agree, we need an elevator down there. 100% I agree. But we need to seek a different type of grant or funding, because that's only $100,000. That will do ADA bathrooms and maybe allow us to clean the eyesore that are the windows that have lost the gas and they're all white. You go down there, people, you can see it, you know it's there. I'm just trying to make it more presentable, and yes, I'm 100%, everyone on this council, let's see the hands, how many want an elevator down there?
Some way to get to the second floor.
Everybody. I know that, there's not enough money in this grant, Duane, to get there.
There's not enough money in Parks and Rec, and there's no money left in the ARPA funds?
I didn't say, I was talking about this grant, and I
I'm
thought you were
talking
talking about
about
this
money.
grant, I'm sorry.
And we looked at an elevator for around about $80,000. You could put it on the outside.
Outside's where it
it's-
ought to be.
It specifically will take a wheelchair and 1 or 2 people, and then you can take about 3 people up at a time. So we had already researched that, and it's reasonable to do it. And you don't have to mess with the inside beams or anything else. I'm just giving you information.
I'm aware of that. I'm aware that 80,000, I knew that figure was somewhere around there. And a $100,000 grant, I can't do ADA bathrooms. Because I figure that's gonna be, again, I don't have quotes, I've gotta get bids, but I'm thinking that those bathrooms are gonna be 50, 60,000.
You
I
have
may be wrong.
ARPA money left, and that's to be spent on the people. That's federal money that's to be spent for the people. There's plenty of money in that account
I'm
that's
If you would
left.
like to add that to the agenda to speak about at some point, we can. We're not saying we don't want it. That's a great idea.
We all agree with the
Well,
elevator.
I'm just giving you information, and you're all attacking me like
We're
I'm
not thanking you.
We're
having
saying-
this crazy thing going
We
on
were
here.
talking about a
thanking you.
I'm
grant,
just
can move
telling
on.
you information.
all right?
talking about a grant, is the only thing I was talking about.
We thought the inference was to the grant, that's all. And that's all the reason that you feel you're attacked, it wasn't that. We're trying to say the grant's limited to 100,000.
I'm just giving you the information. The other thing you might want to think about too, the restaurant lost pretty much everything that they have. You have a restaurant in the community center. It's possible that you could rent that to them, and they could be a viable restaurant up there to use that space and start bringing money in. So I know we had talked about a restaurant before up there. I don't know if the coolers are up. I know that's the biggest thing is the walk-in coolers, but
It is an option for sure.
they
There
bought
is-
coolers and stuff, and it would be an option. They're looking for a place.
There is a bigger issue, though. It's out of fire code because what, the stove and everything's not under the vent hood. Everything has to be moved under the vent hood, and the Ansel system, the fire extinguisher Ansel system has to be up and running. before.
Right, it has to be a whole new fire suppression system
Right.
put in the whole
Right.
place. But they just put a whole new fire suppression system in there, and they're gonna get the insurance money for that to be able to do it. If they were to do it, they would have to put the fire suppression
Right.
system in and bring it up to code.
Right.
It would be up to the person renting the facility to make it up to code, so.
Right,
If we
that
can
would-
find someone that wants to do that, that'd be a great option.
And ADA bathrooms would aid them too.
Yep.
Anything more? Public comment? No public comments? Talk around, I think we kinda already did.
I've got two things that I guess they fit in here. One of them is at the last council meeting, we approved money for the leak detectors after Chris Bigness went on his, I don't know, it was a seminar or something he was at. He talked to a couple of the vendors that make those, and all of them said it's really not suitable for anything more than 300 feet, so it wouldn't really be practical here. So he's got an idea on some other ones that he's gonna look into, but I think we need to put the leak detectors on hold for now. And then the second thing, and I think the mayor and I both received packets from, I think it's from John Wilkerson. Apparently, I don't know if it was under your watch, Mayor, if it was the previous mayor, when they first started pursuing the opioid companies, Arkansas got all the cities to more or less sign off on it. And now I think there's a settlement pending and they need them to sign off on it again. And it needs the mayor's signature, and I'll just give it to him if everybody's okay with that, but if you think it needs to be approved, then I guess we'll have to wait till council, so. It's just basically saying we're okay with it, we're not gonna sue them ourselves, so.
I believe we have to sign that. I don't think it's a question of approving it for the council. And the reason we got this, I've already signed one of these for the first companies. This is a whole second group of companies. There's about 6 or 7 companies that have agreed to the settlement. And maybe you should put that in writing and distribute it to everybody so they can actually read and see what it is.
The thing is, it's this thick, so
So-
there's
whose
9
signatures
companies.
There's,
what?
there's a shorter piece than that. There's 2 pages that go along
Well,
with it.
you're
that
talking about just
people
the
can
email
read.
itself?
Brian?
Yeah.
I could do that.
Sorry.
But again,
Yeah.
I'm okay just handing it to you and letting you sign it. I filled out the front page that has all the to and froms on it. All you need is to sign it. If everybody's okay with that, I'll just do that. Just wanted to make sure everybody's okay with that, that's all.
Is
So-
just the mayor's signature is all that's required?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Okay.
see
While
any
we're,
reason.
while we're talking about the mayor's signature, there's still an outstanding contract that the check has not been signed. Duane, you're gonna sign the $4,800? Reason why it's important is that same individual, as discussed last meeting, has bid $16,000 to modify the burnout cart shed, and we only got 2 bids, and it saves the city $12,000 if we go with him, but he's not gonna start any work unless we pay him what we already owe him, $4,800.
I'll make it real simple. That check and the other checks that were involved with that company are under investigation. And as soon as I find out about it, I'll let you know.
Do you mind disclosing what type of investigation?
I've talked to the state police about them. I've talked to the attorney general too, but they referred me to the state police. That's where it's at.
Is that something that
For,
the public should know, or that, I mean, shouldn't we
No,
talk
I don't
about
think the
that?
public should know until the
No.
investigation is done, just like the fire investigation. When we have the results, I'll make them public.
Well, it's affecting everyone is what I'm saying. That's why I feel like we're not.
Why is it
able-
affecting everyone? It's affecting
Because
the
the
contractor.
contractor that could be redoing the building, you think is doing something wrong, he can't do it because he's under investigation. So that does affect everyone in progress for the city.
I just told you what I told you. You can do whatever you want to do.
well, while we're talking about signatures, what about the mower? There's still one check that you haven't signed about the mower.
Well, that's another thing that I'm waiting to hear back on that. I don't believe we should be commingling private finances with the city. And it's nice that people are willing to put their own money up or do whatever, but that's not the way you do city business. This could have gone to the bank, you could have done a wire transfer, would have been the same as the cash, and that would have been done.
And it would've cost $75, but.
I don't care what it would have cost. There's
Well,
a right,
That's the difference between you and me.
there,
It's right there.
there's a right way to do this, and you did it the wrong way.
Okay, so,
So-
what was wrong with the way it was done? Explain to us what was done incorrectly.
Mr. Vanderpass used his private cash app to send cash to a vendor to put a down payment on this instead of going and using city money. So now he's written himself a city check, and he's actually signed the city check, which his signature shouldn't be on that check either if it's paying him. Because this isn't a payroll check. This is a check of private money that he's used. You should not be mingling private money with city money. And I said, I was gonna wait to sign this until I hear from the Attorney General.
Trying to save the city $75.
And time. It was a Friday afternoon thing that needed the money, or we're gonna lose the mower. I guarantee it would've gone over the weekend. And it sounds easy to go do a wire transfer. It really isn't. It's quite difficult. You have to go to the bank personally, and we need 2 signatures. So it's not an easy thing to do. This was an easy way to get the money quick, and it still requires 2 signatures, because in order to reimburse me, you need to sign the check as well. It's not, there's really no difference in terms of authority. Absolutely, and I checked it with Mr. Sipe, and he said, as long as you've got paperwork, we're good.
Well, thank you
So-
for saving the city $75.
Excuse me?
Would you have gone to sign it at the bank, Duane? Would you have gone to the bank and signed a wire transfer?
Yes, absolutely,
Interesting.
yeah. And I think Chris would have too.
I thought he was taken off for signatory authority.
No, there's no reason to take, why are you taking Chris off from the signatory?
He's not taking off.
He's not being off from this, he's still on the signatory.
Okay.
I think we're at the end of the talk around for the 3rd time. Anything else to add? Yep, we got somebody.
Bill,
Yes.
with the fire, is that gonna be a big problem, loss of revenue, sales tax?
It will be, I don't know what extent yet, because when we get our information from the state on sales tax, it doesn't segregate it, so we just know we got a lump sum. So I think the best way to find out is to ask Russell, how much was he paying every month? And then we'll know, but yeah, obviously, we won't be getting, I think they're the 2nd largest contributor to our sales tax, so.
That's a good segue into, I want to thank everyone who's paid their amenity fee assessments. Because of those that have paid, we can look at possibly bringing back our city funds that we had designated to Parks and Rec sooner rather than later. We need to look and see what we're going to lose and maybe just proportion that amount back to the city to cover that sales tax loss, but we need to discuss that at the next council. How we're gonna battle that, it's kinda early.
I have one more thing. The fire department, annual golf tournament is next Saturday, September 20th, and we could still use teams and sponsors and help and everything else, so it's always a fun time, and we appreciate what everybody's doing.
Thank you. Go ahead, Tim.
It's been discussed, ARPA funds were brought up again tonight. What remains in that account? Does anybody know what our balance is?
So I think it's 180,000, I think 20,000 is already allocated towards the fire department's pumper truck accessories or whatever. And I think there's a little bit left that's appropriate to the animal control building, I think 10,000 or less. But otherwise, I think, well, and then we did allocate for the, for this lawnmower, which is 20,000.
Why were we taking lawnmower funds out of ARPA when Parks and Rec took in some pretty good funds?
Yeah.
Why not just take it directly out of their account and leave the ARPA funds for maybe more parks?
I'm not the one to answer that, I'm not the one who made the motion and approved it, I don't get a vote, so.
But I didn't think that was approved to take out of ARPA funds.
It was the last minute interjection on the motion, so.
Oh, my God.
Unless I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was, so.
revisit that at the council, and look, we can change it, I mean, anything can be fixed, mended, if we do something wrong, we're definitely gonna mess up, so we can revisit that, look at it, and fix it if we need to.
We also have a equipment budget that covers that.
Right.
Does Park and Rec have any equipment budget? What's their balance in that? Is there enough to
24.
cover the mower?
24,000.
How much was the mower?
20.
Oh, problem solved.
Anything else, Tim?
No, I'm just asking about the purpose. Thank you.
Anything else? Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say the same.
Packers are gonna lose?
Oh, we're adjourned.
Thank you for the quick meeting.
Victoria's taking on home. All the money's given to her and she's making a spreadsheet for it.
Okay, and what about